Hey there, Wade Sellers back with you. In this video, we're going to talk about else-if statements, all right? So else-if statements are like a way to create multiple forks in the road in a conditional statement. So you have an if statement, which is kind of like, if this is true, do this. An if-else statement is like, if this is true, do this, else do this. So you get two forks in the road, right? Or one fork in the road. And then an else-if is like, if this is true, do this, else if this is true, do this, else if this is true, do this, else if this is true, do this, and you can create as many forks in the road as you like, okay? So I have an app up here. I have a Playgrounds app. So if you're following along, I created a Playgrounds app with some test code here. If you want to catch up, you can just hit pause, create a brand new Playgrounds app, okay, not Xcode, go to Playgrounds app, and make sure it's an actual app project with an app preview. And you're going to add the state variables here. I got rid of the VStack, and instead I added a text field. I gave it some starter text that you see right here. And then I created a binding to the guest letter state variable right here. We'll talk about bindings later, but this is why I created it ahead of time so you can just see what's up. And the text field style is a rounded rectangle, which kind of takes it off the wall here a bit. We added some padding, which again takes it off the wall. And then on submit, so when you type in something in here and you hit enter, then run code, okay? And then there's a text field under it with output text, which is currently blank. But if I go in here and I just hit test, for instance, it should update with a little test right there. Okay, so that's the text that we're going to change as we run our test. Okay. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get to the if and the else-if statements. So what we have here is we're going to put in a letter, and if we get the mystery letter right, we're going to let us know that we got it right. If not, we're going to let us know if it's closer to the beginning or closer to the end of the alphabet, all right? So my if statement would look like this. If the guessed letter is equal to, let's say, M, and we're going to use capital letters for all of our examples here. If guessed letter is equal to M, then we'll set our output text to equal you guessed my letter. Okay. Now, let's try another one. If we do else if, we can create another parameter here to check out. So we can say else if a guessed letter is less than an M, and Swift is smart enough to know there's a numerical value for each string, and if we just use capital letters, then it knows capital A through capital L is less than a capital M, and then capital N through capital Z is greater than a capital M, okay? So if guessed letter is less than capital M, then we know that we can set our output to equal the mystery letter is after your guess, okay? And then finally, we could just do an else statement because there's only one other option it could be, which is if the guessed letter is greater than capital M. And here we could say output is equal to the mystery letter is before your guess, okay? So that's all we need to do. So now we have three paths that we could go on this fork in the road, right? If it's M, else if it's less than M, else if it's greater than M, right? So now let's go ahead and test it out. Let's go over here, enter letter, and let's try it out. Let's do the M. Let's get it all right, and then I'll hit enter. And you'll see you guessed my letter. So this was true, and then we did not run the else if or the else statement, right? That's what we have going on here. So now let's try, say, a capital B. You'll see the mystery letter is after your guess, okay? So it came down here and it said, if guess letter equals M, nope, that's false, we're not gonna do that. Okay, let's go to the next opportunity. Else if the guess letter is less than M, B is less than M, great. The mystery letter is after your guess, okay? Else output, this was never ran. So now let's try another one. Let's go to like Z, all right? And now you'll see when I hit enter, the mystery letter is before your guess, okay? So we guess Z, we know that it's before our guess, so that's how the logic works out here. And you could keep doing this. You could keep having else if after else if after else if, okay? In the next video, I'm gonna show you how to qualify two things to be true or things to be false. We're gonna use the and or the or operators, and then after that video, in the next video after that, I'm going to show you how you can make a switch statement that kind of does basically what the else if loop is, but in a much more cleaner way, okay? So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.